One Punch Man, chapter 99.1 and 99.2, Takeoff, were good chapters. I was going to review 99.1, but I've been really busy recently, as you might be able to guess. I haven't had the time, and then 99.2 came out. But these are relatively small chapters, so I don't think I have too much to say about them, is what I normally say when the review ends up going on for half an hour. But in the future, if these kind of small chapters come out, just let me know in the comments, please. Would you want me to just wait for this chapter to finish? Like, if there's any small chapters in the future, and then just do it as one big review, or would you prefer, like, small reviews about each bit? Because I'm going to kind of talk about them as, I'm talking about them as two separate chapters in any case. So, let's start with 99.1, Takeoff. I thought, despite its length, it was good at setting up for the chapter. I liked the cover art a lot. It was, like, the Halloween-themed One Punch Man characters. I'm about to overanalyze this. I was going to do it anyway, so let's do it now. Okay. Sonic is dressed up as a cat. Does this mean he's going to show up and fight General Neon? Goro is holding a pitchfork, which represents a demon normally in Halloween. So does that mean we're all overestimating him and he's only a demon? Watchdog Man is dressed up like Cerberus. Does this mean that Watchdog Man is secretly guarding something? I don't know what I'm doing. It's black and white. No. That should do it. Okay, cool. He's not getting any help, by the way. He's dead. So, with it being relatively short, like, it wasn't a bad chapter 99.1 on its own, but I think it's just a lot, there's not a lot to say because of the length of it. The art was still great, as it always is, because the fight had kind of started. Not a lot actually happened. It was mostly Child Emperor starting to fight, and we start to see the moves of it, of the Brave Giant. It's very basic stuff at this point, and like I said, it was mostly a setup thing, because I think it shows, like, how Phoenix Man is as a fighter, and the kind of fight we can expect, as we got more than anything. So, more than anything, so Child Emperor, like, he launches, like, missiles out his shoulder at Phoenix Man, and Phoenix Man, as we know, he's not executive level, but he's above other monsters, and we see this, I think, quite well in his how he fights. Like, so when he launches all the missiles, and Child Emperor, and then he's like, oh, this is child's play, these are just Seekers, and, you know, I think we've seen, obviously, how he uses his fire. It's pretty creative, and this is what I'm liking about this fight, is it's going to be a bit more strategic than other fights. So obviously, like, instead of, like, launching big waves of fire to just destroy the missiles instead, he instead just goes like, okay, let's launch out little Phoenix flares, and then they distract the Seekers, and then I like that a lot, because it was a different way of fighting, and as much as I like all the different styles of, like, you know, I do like, obviously, like, the big brawls that we get, like, the flash fight of speed, and then obviously, like, the techniques of, like, martial arts, and then just, like, the big fire attacks of, like, the big fights that we get in between those as well. They're all very entertaining, but we haven't really had a proper strategic fight yet, so I'm actually quite interested to see how this fight all goes down, as we see in 99.2 as well. You know, I think it was just a great way to set up how Phoenix Man fights, and, like, despite the amounts, like, he's the Phoenix Man, like, fire is his thing, but despite, I imagine, the immense fire abilities he has, he doesn't use it like other characters. Like, General shoots his fire literally as, like, a massive blast of heat. He's like, boom, fire, boom, fire. Hellfire Flame, he was also like, okay, use it to advance my attacks, but he's using it a bit more creatively and strategically, so we see this in 99.2 as well, which I'll get onto immediately, because there isn't really a lot more to say. Apart from Phoenix Man, like, he is a bit, like, I like seeing the smart side of him. He's like, you know, he could be a threat, but he's too much of an oaf, and this is kind of the thing that I think is going to be Phoenix Man's downfall in the remainder of the fight, is, you know, he's got the potential, he's got the mind, but his pride just gets in the way, and he thinks, like, too lowly of his opponents. And that's definitely his monster side kicking in, but I do like this side of it. But with 99.2, to me, this is when it really kicks off, because this is when we start seeing all the creative stuff that Brave Giant can do. Straight away, we send out the little Braves, and they're these tiny little drones, like, that look like little Brave Giants, and they're there to surround him and, like, and attack him. And I feel like, okay, this is what I expect from Brave Giant. Like, these crazy, over-the-top weapons like this. This is what I want to see more of. And Phoenix Man, once again, he uses flames super creatively. We see this with the whole fight when he's obviously, like, when he gets cornered by the Brave Giant, like the little Brave. In any case, he, once again, creatively, instead of, like, trying to launch, like, a massive heat blast and, like, damage the whole area, maybe because he recognises that they're in a small confined area, and if they do, then they could cave in on himself, and he could be in a lot of trouble himself, he instead just, like, launches, like, a blast of heat down through the floor to protect himself, and then he flies back up in an instant. Like, that's what I imagine that effect is. It's just that boom effect, and then he takes down all the little Braves with his, like, feathers, like, with his wings, like a super swift attack. And I liked it. I did. Yes. I just like seeing this more strategic style of fight instead of just like big blast, big blast, big blast. Was like, well, if I do this here, and then I can keep him occupied here. And like I said, it's a battle strategy and smarts. Because very quickly, Phoenix Man figures out, well, like the reason he must be attacking like this is obviously because he's got a time limit to what he can do. So he's like, well, my main strategy should be to try and stall him by using a variety of attacks, not just attacking him, but attack the person he's trying to protect as well, which is of course very clever because Brave Giant wouldn't necessarily have the time to attack if he's trying to keep Wagamma safe. And I do like this whole bit quite a lot. Just like the variety of attacks more than anything. So it's not just fire attacks, it's definitely the bird side of him as well. So obviously he's got like these really powerful wings, and we've seen his beak, but he can shoot out his feathers like homing feathers, and they're like and like they start attacking. And then that's when Brave Giant gets to use another cool weapon, which is the divider shield, which looks like a compass, like a compass you'd use for maths. And then like he takes it and starts spinning it, and it's just that makes the giant shield like, okay, that's cool, I like this stuff. But then of course I think maybe Phoenix Man's, maybe that represents the Phoenix side of him as well, because you know Phoenixes are legendary creatures, so that might be why he's so prideful. Obviously monsters are just prideful and arrogant, really. They think of themselves as the best. They're never like, oh, wouldn't never underestimate a human or anything. They're always like, you know, what, like, we've got this, we can take humans. So he's very much like, I'm going to make you use all your cards, I'm going to make you use everything, then I'm going to leave you there to be so, basically to be killed by the monsters, where all your tools are broken, when you're at your worst, then I'll leave you to die. And that's like, it's sadistic really, but it's good, because this is kind of the monster's downfall, is they're so prideful and arrogant, they think that little of the humans. So, like I said, it's a battle strategy. So, while, what I thought was super clever was, while the little Braves were actually the distraction, well, he sets up another wall, which caught Phoenix Man off guard. So Child Emperor can finally launch like a giant attack. And what is that attack? It's a giant rocket fist. Rockets are cool. Oh, cool, aren't they? I'm up for this. Like, and the thing is, as stupid as it sounds, I'm super excited for the next chapter, because either the next chapter is going to start with Phoenix Man using some counterattack or dodging through some strategy, and I love it if it's like, if it eventually comes to this, like, well, I planned this, well, I planned this, and I planned this, and I planned this, but I don't think it will. But either it's going to start the next chapter with Child Emperor launching like a massive, like the fist just connecting with Phoenix Man, it's going to be amazing, or Phoenix Man's going to dodge it somehow through some strategy or through some quick reaction, and it's going to be good too. And maybe he'll even counterattack it with some kind of fire attack. But yes, I'm ready to see what's going to happen with the rest of this fight. More than anything, I just want some big robot things to happen, because I'm excited. I like Brave Giant, it's cool, but we just need some more. So like, if they made it cool, especially with basic, it's more than anything, like if you just threw a massive punch, I was like, that's cool, and then I realised, wait, that's rocket powered, that's gonna hit extra hard. I was like, that's cool. But I just want something like a giant sword, or like a massive laser cannon to beat Phoenix Man. I just want something amazing like that, or something that even catches me off guard. I was like, well, what if this is like, you know, I don't know, like a giant axe or something just a bit different. And like, the thing is, Child Emperor uses a lot of different weapons, and they're super cool like that. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with the rest of this fight. I'm looking forward to it, because obviously, especially because it's 99, I don't know if they're going to do anything for chapter 100 big at all. Like, I obviously Phoenix Man's he's gonna lose. When you set up a time limit like this, it's gonna be a last minute victory for Child Emperor. But it'd be great if this like this whole fight ends on such like a big thing. So if he wins, but then maybe, I don't know, like a monster executive shows up in front of Child Emperor when he's just exhausted, the Brave Giant. And I know, like, I've talked about this on the One Punch Man podcast, which I've been on, and I should be on for when we talk about this chapter. So go subscribe to Grim on that one, because I should be on that, hopefully, but busy, as you can see. Oh dear. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about this, but I liked it, and I would like to know what you think of it as well. That's also very important. Yes, please let me know in the comments what you thought of these chapters, and let me know if in the future you want these like small little reviews when these chapters are broken down. It's been a long time since he's done this. Before I started reviewing, he used to do it quite well, like, no, he kind of did it a bit, but it's been a while since he's done like small chapters which he's broken up into like in these little segments. So it's not a regular thing that happens, but basically, do you want these chapter reviews big or small or whatever? I don't mind, let me know. But yes, on the other hand, let me know what you think of this so far. Are you enjoying these small chapters? Like, are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the fight so far? The strategies, they're only small, but they're entertaining in a different way to me. But what do you think? Do you hate them? Do you love them? Let me know. Subscribe if you want to see more. Give us a like. You know what it is. You know the Tengen Topper Gurren Lagann. That's because you know the drill. I did a fake laugh and it turned real because I'm hilarious. Goodbye.